Hi, I'm Sophie, founder of Hearty Mums and your host for the Precious Plan, an initiative to support women who are planning for a baby in their 30s. Well, in this inaugural online conference, we bring together a variety of experts who will share their insights on how you can improve your chances of conceiving a healthy baby and have enjoyable pregnancy using natural methods to complement your journey. So today I have the pleasure of interviewing Hong Chun Yen, founder of Childbirth Odyssey. Yen is a mother of two boys, and her journey began when she decided to prepare for a healthy pregnancy for a new life to grow in her. And by creating a clean body, she found her mind clearer. So that led her into a profession as a hypnobirthing childbirth educator, a holistic birth doula, and an infant massage instructor. And also, it was during one of the holistic pregnancy and birth support groups that Yen regularly runs that the idea to create a platform to bring holistic practitioners together came about. And this has led to the Precious Plan conference this week. So today it is my true pleasure to have her on this call. She will be sharing with us about primal health and how to prepare an optimal environment for your baby. So thank you so much for joining us, Yen. Please tell us a little bit
Thank
more
you,
about
Sophie.
yourself. Yeah. And what are you passionate about?
Okay, so like you introduced me earlier that so what happened over here is that before I became a hypnobirthing practitioner, so I was very much into health because I was preparing for a healthy pregnancy for my second child. I after I birthed my first child, and I noticed that he wasn't very strong. So when I was at that time, I wanted to have a child like 3 years gap between my first one and my second one, and it so happened that I worked for a boss who teach raw food, and really at that time I was looking for something that helped me to improve my health because I have only one goal in my mind, that was to prepare for my pregnancy, to clean up my mess before I conceive. I wanted to give my son a good start in life. So I postponed my pregnancy for a year because I learned a lot from this raw food teacher. Then later I found out about a detox program that I was a bit familiar with. So then I jumpstart with the detoxification. So I did an intense detox, and I did a gallstone flush. So it's more on the physical level. So when I did that, and that was when I decided to have a baby, and I was already 36 years. So to me, well, 35, 36 years old, it doesn't really matter. I don't think health matter as much, but to me it was age, it did not matter as much, but it was really the health. If I'm healthy, then I'm sure I can conceive a healthy child. So that was when it all began from there. And also slowly I became more conscious. Yeah. So I do believe that if you clean up your body, you have a more mental clarity as well. So of course with a clean body, I knew that I wanted a water birth, but I wasn't sure if I can do it without drugs, because no more drugs. I think I really wanted a natural birth experience. Then later I found out about hypnobirthing. So then I joined hypnobirthing because it says that I could release my fear and I can have a comfortable labor and birth without pain. Of course, that was a very great idea to me. I was scared. So when I was in labor, I was quite comfortable, and I birthed my baby in the water. Right after that, where I think back, so if without considering my age, and I already have two children, I could really do this 10 times. So to me, it was really an empowering birth experience. It was very much healing. So that's how it began. And now I became a passionate, we call birth worker. Yeah.
Wow, that's a really it's a really beautiful journey that you're sharing with us. Well,
Thank
I know
you.
one of the topics that you are fluent with is primal health,
Yeah.
and I'd like to, can you please tell us more about it?
Yes. So after I became a hypnobirthing practitioner, so we understand a lot about the consciousness of the baby, because it is a more holistic approach of childbirth. It's not just about getting mom through birth. So that was when I also decided to embark on my spiritual journey. So when I found out, when I embark on my spiritual journey, what I found out about a lot of our block, our emotional baggage, a lot of time, when you really trace back, it went back to the time when we were in our mother's womb, and of course during the birth process, because that's the time in between two worlds. So whatever the child, the baby feel, it can affect them. So if the world is quite welcoming, is very gentle, the baby will be very happy coming into this world, so they can adjust better. But there are some procedures that may not be as gentle as what we want, because the birth process is an intense experience for everybody. So if the baby feel it's a bit, you know, violent, then it can really affect them. So our pattern, our childhood, whatever self-sabotaging pattern, is actually started from this. So let me explain a little bit about a primal period, because a primal period, a lot of people are not aware what is primal period. So the primal period starts from conception to the baby's first 2 years of life, which is the non-verbal age. So this is the time that whatever happened, what a baby experience, it shapes who they are. So our character comes from, you know, what we experience at this time. Yeah. So it is very crucial, because it really shape our health and well-being lifelong. So if we can help a baby to release that as early as possible, it will be great. If the parents are more conscious, it will be great. So, and this is why I highly recommend preconception preparation, to prepare yourself, and not just the mother, but also I think the father plays a part too,
Yes,
right?
certainly. Yeah, wow, this is very interesting information, because I think a lot of old wives also say that the state of the mother during their pregnancy journey does affect the kind of baby that's going, you know, the mood and
Yeah,
the behavior of the baby. And I think even for my own personal journey, I felt the same way between
yeah,
two different kids. You know, very different in character, and I can actually draw some kind of parallel with how I was and what my state was when I was, you know, pregnant with them. So that's really, really
yeah.
true, and yeah, interesting information. So you mentioned about husbands. So what are some things that, you know, women and their husbands can do to be in optimal health preconception?
Okay, good. Um, so where the genes comes from? It comes from both health of the father and the mother, right? So if both parties can prepare at least the physical body to really clean up, because now there are a lot of couples get married past 30, 35, and sometimes even 40. So when they have the first child, I mean the age is quite we call mature people, right? So if they can do a detoxification or a cleansing, and then followed by a maintenance and their diet, really be conscious about what they put into the mouth, then it would be a lot better. Because once conception happen, right, the egg and the sperm meets, then that's the DNA. So the baby will carry this DNA. So if we can work on that, it would be great. But of course, if we can also remove the emotional trauma, the emotional baggage, it would be more ideal. So that will help baby to give baby a good start in life. Yeah,
Certainly.
I
So
strongly
as
believe that.
yeah, certainly. Well, as a hypnobirthing childbirth educator and also an experienced breast doula, what issues do you commonly see in women that could actually have been addressed prior to their pregnancy
Mm.
journey?
Okay, now in hypnobirthing course, what we do, right, is understand what is normal about birth. So we can really remove part of the conscious fear. So the conscious fear will be fear, a lot of time fear of pain, fear of the unknown, right? So it also return confidence to the mother to learn to trust themselves, and also have the husband to have a better understanding what the woman, his woman will go through in labor and birth. Of course, that would really help. But we also focus more on removing subconscious fear. So sometimes they are fearful of things that they don't even know. Now, occasionally we do come across women who are so fearful that the birth, they really have to numb their senses. They can't deal with that. So such as, for example, if there is any sexually abused case, yeah, so it would be very difficult for the woman to let go. So if they are not able to let go, they're still hanging on to that the emotion. It will be difficult for the cervix to open, and a lot of time where even, I mean, birth is going to take place anyway, right? The cervix is fully open, and as the baby move into the birth path, so a lot of time women are afraid. So if they don't release the fear prior to labor, right, they can hold back. So it can hold back and make it more difficult for the baby to come through. That's first thing. Secondly is that of course, we wanted a natural birth, which is more gentle for the baby, healthier for the baby. But when moms is so fearful that they actually needed to numb their senses so that they don't feel it, you know. So when you don't feel, you actually escape from facing your fear. So when they don't feel, when they don't feel it, yes, they don't deal with it at that time because it can be too much for them. So this is what I see. And sometimes women actually tell me about they have certain condition, a physical condition that it seems like it may be difficult for the body to do its job. So they may also be quite aware consciously. So if they can really are willing to work into releasing the fear, it would really be helpful in the laboring journey, because what a woman feel, it goes to the baby. So those are the hormone. If fear kicks in, if they get panic and overwhelmed with the labor and birth, and that same feeling goes to the baby as well, then the baby will be feeling overwhelmed coming into this world. So how does it affect our life? We always feel overwhelmed. When it's too much homework, we feel overwhelmed. When it's too much work as we grow up, we don't take on that much of work because we feel overwhelmed. That can really affect her his or her success in his life. Yeah, and this is what I see.
Yeah, that's so true. Because I actually, a lot of how we react to things,
Yeah,
how we respond and make decisions, it's
yeah,
always because of our past experiences which make up our memory. So if we've got a memory that is pretty limiting or
yeah,
resistant, then it's going to affect how we react, and that starts from childhood, or even as we're talking about now, it starts from the primal period, and that's
yeah.
so big a topic. And wow, it's very, very interesting. So thank you. Thank you so much for sharing with us today about primal health and preparing an optimal environment for your baby. If to the audience, if you would like to work with Yen or find out more about what she does, please click on the link below. And also, please join us for our next speaker session and also our panel discussion, where all our speakers will be coming together to address our final topic. So here's to the best start for your baby. I'm Sophie, your host for the Precious Plan, and see you again soon.
Thank you, Sophie, for having me in the session.
Thank you.